What happens when a young, ambitious student and a bitter, aging journalist get trapped naked in a bathroom, forced to confront their deepest fears, regrets, and desires? An old man and a young girl end up stuck in a bathroom together. The old man is a seasoned journalist, full of life experience and jaded opinions, while the young girl had simply come to take his interview, eager and curious. But the journalist's intentions turn out to be a bit different. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be explaining the 2011 film Madrid, 1987, a unique drama that fits into the hangout movie genre. These are films where the real engagement comes from deep conversations between characters. You can watch it with a calm mind, even while eating, and still feel absorbed in its quiet, layered narrative. So, without further ado, let's get into the story. The movie opens in Madrid during the scorching summer of 1987. Our main character, Miguel, is a well-known, once revered writer. We find him at work in a hotel room, scribbling thoughts down on paper, a reflection of a time when writing was done with pen, not keyboard. Miguel contributes to newspapers and magazines, and his reputation as a bold, unapologetic journalist precedes him. Meanwhile, a young journalism student named Angela is eager to meet him. She aspires to become a strong writer herself, and she hopes Miguel can offer her insight, or at the very least, inspiration. She sees him as a mentor figure, a man whose experience can guide her, even if his tone is gruff. As they begin talking, Miguel brings up a story he once wrote about a man who later died. He confesses he never apologized for writing that article, and hints that the tension between writers and their subjects is just part of the craft. There's always a moral cost to telling the truth, and he's long accepted that burden. Angela offers him a Coca-Cola. Despite his doctor's warnings to avoid such drinks, he takes it and lights a cigarette too, adding tobacco to the mix. He laughs and says that if he dies, at least the blame will be shared among many guilty pleasures. His attitude reflects a man who's stopped caring about consequences. Angela shares an article she recently wrote, hoping for feedback. Miguel critiques it instantly, saying it's too long, too dull. He explains that if she wants to be published, her writing needs to be tighter, more concise, and more impactful. He also accuses her of mimicking his own writing style. According to Miguel, true writing must be original. Words should strike hard and leave a mark. That's what makes great literature. Angela admits no one taught her how to write during her time at university. Miguel replies bluntly, writing can't really be taught. It has to come from deep within, from experience, from pain, from reflection. Then Miguel pulls out a key from his coat and offers it to Angela. It's for a friend's apartment. He says his friend is out of town, so they can have uninterrupted privacy while conducting the interview. Angela, perhaps intrigued or simply naive, agrees. They arrive at the apartment. As they walk in, Miguel accidentally knocks over a painting. He muses that visual art is special because you can admire it with your eyes, something you can't really do with writing. That's why, in a way, writers are lonelier than artists. Angela takes off her glasses, and Miguel kisses her. But then he says something unexpected, that he's no longer interested in sex. His desire has faded with age. Still, he adds that if Angela wants something from him, knowledge, wisdom, insight, then he wants something in return. He hints bluntly at physical intimacy. It's manipulative, but he presents it as an exchange. He confesses he can no longer seduce women the way he once did. The times have changed. If something were to happen between them today, he says he might even write about it someday. Angela is clearly disturbed. She leaves the apartment. But surprisingly, after a pause, she returns. Without saying much, she removes her clothes. It's a powerful, confusing moment, one that blurs the line between consent and pressure. Miguel touches her with colored paint from his artist's friend's supplies, almost symbolically, as if turning her into an artwork. Still, nothing truly physical takes place between them. Angela goes to take a shower. Miguel eventually joins her, and they end up locking themselves inside the bathroom. Afterwards, Angela says she wants to leave. She can't do this. But when they try to open the door, it doesn't budge. The lock is broken. they're trapped. Miguel mentions that his girlfriend had warned him about this faulty door, but he forgot. Now, they're both naked, stuck in a small, enclosed space with no phone, no help. Angela tries to call for assistance through the small window. Miguel stops her, worried about public embarrassment. He reminds her that he's a public figure. If anyone finds out, it could become a scandal. He says his friend won't be back for 2 days. Maybe his wife will get suspicious and call the police. Angela says if her parents find out, they'll be furious. She yells again through the window, but no one hears. Miguel reflects that their situation could either become a tragic drama or an absurd comedy. Angela says if they make it out safely, it'll be a comedy. But if things go wrong and the media gets the hold of the story, it could turn into an international scandal, especially back in Italy, where she has fans. Their conversation deepens. Angela tells Miguel about her family. Her father's in the military. It turns out Miguel actually knew her older sister from acting classes. They had a 17-year age gap, but were still friends. He admits he liked her sister, though nothing ever happened. Miguel recalls how his friend's wife once called the police when he disappeared, thinking he'd run away. It was just a petty lesson, but the story ended up in the news. Angela then reveals she got Miguel's number from her sister. Apparently, Miguel had told her that he liked Angela, but her sister wasn't impressed. She thought Miguel was overrated, a writer living on his past glories. Miguel doesn't respond much, but is clearly offended. Angela asks him directly, "Does it bother you what my sister thinks of you?" Miguel admits it does. She then asks if they're still doing the interview. He says yes, and that how it ends depends on what happens between them. He moves toward her again, but stops midway. Angela says he's strangely knowledgeable and yet still incredibly flawed. Miguel explains that novelists usually take years to write, but he always set strict daily goals and finished faster. Angela says she wants to change the world through her writing. Miguel tells her bluntly, "That's unlikely. All you can do is try to write well. Everything else is out of your hands." Miguel constantly talks down to her, challenging her, testing her. Angela finally stands up for herself. She says, just because she's young doesn't mean she lacks understanding. People have always treated her like a child, but she isn't one. She chose to be here. No one forced her. After a moment of silence, she yells again for help. Still no answer. She confesses that when she was younger, she would pretend to be a famous person, giving interviews in front of the mirror. Miguel says people can't accept their true selves. That's why they chase fame and power. Angela listens, then stops pretending in front of him. She's real now, completely vulnerable. To shift the energy, Miguel offers to tell a story. It's about a family, a father, mother, and a son. One day, the son refuses to get out of bed. Thinking it's school anxiety, the parents take him to doctors and psychologists. Nothing works. They try everything, vacations, parties, but the boy stays in bed. At a fair, a girl falls for him, but even love doesn't wake him up. She eventually joins him in bed, heartbroken. The village fears they have a contagious condition and kicks them out. Later, the parents make love in the woods. When they return, the boy is gone, finally awake, but they never find him again. Still, the mother feels peace. Angela asks, "Why did you tell me that story?" Miguel says, "What happened between us this entire day was wrong, and we'll both feel guilty, but overthinking won't change it. If we meet again, you should just ignore me and move on." Suddenly, they hear a voice outside. Miguel calls for help, asking the person to contact his friend. A little while later, help arrives. Just as Miguel predicted, Angela leaves without saying goodbye. No eye contact, no words. But before stepping out, she turns back and says, "This was just an experience. I won't feel guilty. I'll process it in my own way." And with that, the movie ends, quietly but powerfully. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more deep and meaningful movie explanations. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you next time.